Jordan Peterson talked about the book of Ordinary Men, I think it was called. Basically, it was during World War II, like when the Nazis just got into power, and they had everyday people going out and supporting them, or even going along with the policies. This is prior to the indoctrination of the youth.
Mm,
And you go, well, that was everyday people. They're okay
mm.
with
Yeah,
the authority, and I think we had a taste of it,
yeah.
of that type of thinking happening here too.
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Daniel, that, a key moment in the COVID hysteria was the re-election of the Labor government in Western Australia. And you had a Labor premier who was leading um, a kind of segregationist island hermit kingdom, hyping up the fears of the pandemic, literally proposing a quote zero COVID policy, which was obviously and always madness from the very first moment, the expression zero COVID. You had that daft girl in New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern running the same rubbish. But Australians fell for it, and Australians were complete suckers. And the problem was when the Labor Premier Mark McGowan got re-elected with a massively increased majority, all of the other premiers said, "Oh, this is the way to go."
Mm.
And in effect, the decision they came to was that the harder you lock down, the more you stigmatize the non-compliant, the camps, the mandates, the injection into children of experimental drugs, which it turns out are killing them. Australians loved it. And I recall listening to Dr. Pierre Curie, who was one of the leading global medical skeptics. He said that when you look around the world at the COVID response, he said there were 3 countries that completely lost their minds. And they were, he said, take your pick in order of precedence, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. So here we have been indulging this sort of national fantasy of the sort of man from Snowy River, the Clancy of the Overflow, the rugged, independent, self-reliant, bush Australian. It turns out we're the greatest bunch of gutless cowards on planet Earth. And for that reason, we've got no impulse to save ourselves. We are like so many sheep in the race walking into the concentration camp, and we have zero impulse to resist the guards. Indeed, we're competing to be more compliant.